This is a selection from a book entitled Letters to My Son by Kent Nerburn. As I write this, Christmas is approaching. It is my favorite time of year. For this one brief season, we count our money not to measure our own security, but to see how much we can give. For this one season, we look to make others happy, and we find our joy in the happiness they receive. How simple a lesson, and how easily forgotten. Almost as quickly as the day ends, we once again become takers, measuring our happiness by what we gain for ourselves. Just days before, we were valuing our lives for the joy that we could bring to other people, and suddenly we are back in this practical business of assessing all of our actions by how they will benefit us. What a sad transformation. How can we forget so quickly? Giving is one of the most wonderful and beneficent of acts. It is a miracle that can transform the heaviest of hearts into a place of warmth and a place of joy. True giving, whether it be of time, money, concern, or anything else, true giving opens us up. It fills the giver and warms the receiver. Something new has been made where before there was really nothing. But even when we reach out and give, we often seek notice and praise so that our hearts are really motivated by the affirmation we will be getting, not by the pure joy of opening to the needs of others. We are locked in this prison of our own self-interest, and we are blind to the fact that our real growth, our real happiness, would be better served by the very actions that we resist performing. The only way to break out of that prison is to reach out without regard for the response that we may receive in turn. So every Christmas, I rent a Santa Claus outfit, and I go out into the streets just to teach myself this lesson anew. And in that Santa Claus suit, there can be no subtle playing for self-congratulation or benefit, because no one out there knows who I am. I'm simply Santa, the man who gives. And I go into nursing homes and grade schools and hospitals. I stop and talk to kids in parking lots, and I bring presents to people who really need them. And parents pass me notes and make requests, some wanting to reassure their children that, yes, Santa exists, and others just wanting me to pay attention to their child. Once a Jewish family took me aside and asked me to speak to their little boy. He was the only Jewish kid in his kindergarten class. And he thought that Santa wouldn't care about him because he was Jewish. So he was afraid to come forward when Santa came into his kindergarten room. And so I sat with him and his parents, and we talked about Hanukkah and giving, and in the end, he came up and gave me a hug, and he said, "I won't be afraid anymore." Well, it may have been strange theology, but it was good humanity. Now, being Santa, that costs me money and time and no small amount of grief. One time, 2 teenagers ran a stop sign and rear-ended my car. But being Santa, I couldn't bring myself to turn them in or press charges on Christmas Eve. But despite all of the inconvenience it involves, I would never give up playing Santa Claus, not for anything. I receive too much in return. Now, people who focus on getting can never understand this. They might think that what I'm doing is praiseworthy. They might even say, "Hey, but it makes you feel so good." What they don't understand that it's beyond feeling good. We're creating good. It is bringing good into the world where before there was nothing. You know, giving is a generative act. When you give yourself, something new comes into being. 2 people, moments before, were trapped in these separate worlds of private cares, and suddenly they meet and greet each other over this simple act of sharing. Now warmth and joy is created. The world expands when a bit of goodness is brought forth, and indeed a small miracle occurs. You must never underestimate that miracle. So here's my advice to you. Buy a bouquet of flowers. Take it to a nursing home. Take $10 out of your pocket. Give it to someone on the street. Do it with a smile and with a lilt in your step. No pity, no hushed tones of holy generosity. Just give it and smile and walk away. And little by little, you will begin to understand the miracle. Slowly, instinctively, you will start to feel what is common among us, not what separates us, not what differentiates us, not what divides us. And most important, in doing this, you will find the other givers. No matter where you live, where you travel, whether you speak their language, whether you know their names, you will know them, you will become one of them because you will recognize each other. You will see them in their small acts because you will recognize those acts and they will see you in yours. You will know each other, you will embrace each other, and once you become a giver, you are never alone.